Welcome to the Investing Podcast, presented by Tusk Media. Now, for your early morning look at financial news and activity in audio and video form, here's the Morning Market Mimosa.
Hey everybody, welcome back to a very special debut episode of the Investing Podcast, Season 3. We made it. Season 3.
Going through them.
Season 3, Episode 1. We're trying out a new format. We've been hyping this up like crazy to our tens of followers, and we're really excited. We're going to do a long show today, trying out one long show per day. We're going to open up in a really familiar way. I'm Andrew Hall. This has been Nye. We do the Morning Market Mimosa typically. We're going to kind of do the same thing here. You ready to rock?
I'm ready to rock.
Awesome. So let's open up with futures. Futures are down. We got a Redgasm going on right now. Dow futures down 13 basis points. S&P and NASDAQ futures both down around 20. Gold down about 1/4%. Oil down about 0.5%. So not a beautiful day opening up after a strong day yesterday, the day before. We've kind of due for a down day, I guess, in some regards. But so that's where we're at. A couple stories to hit that caught our eye this morning before we do some deeper dives and some topics with some other people up here. Facebook. Came out, and basically we now have learned that the metric that they were using to show the time that people were spending watching videos was inaccurate. It was inflating it because they were only including people that were watching videos of at least 3 seconds. Now that may not sound like a big deal, but I mean, how many videos do you see a day where you scroll through, you see 1 second of it and you move on?
Right.
It's a lot. 3 seconds is a long time in mobile video especially.
And these are video ads,
Mm-hmm.
and I mean, if I was an advertiser and I was putting video ads on Facebook, and I was seeing these beautiful charts of look how much time people are spending on my ad, and look how many clicks I'm getting, and look how many more likes I'm getting, and if I'm starting to question some of the data that Facebook's giving me, you know, that I have to really question: is my dollar that I'm spending on Facebook for advertising, is that actually being shown to bring me extra sales or additional visibility in the marketplace?
It's hard to tell if you're getting a real, or what your return on investment. Obviously there is some return on investment, but what it actually is hard to define if you don't understand the metric that you're actually seeing. And it sounds like this is not just a case of not understanding, but a metric being presented as one thing, and it wasn't that.
Right.
You know, it wasn't like, oh, we didn't explain this process. They saw average time viewed, and that seems like a self-explanatory.
And the thing for Facebook, and we've talked about Facebook a little bit here on the podcast before, but for Facebook especially, their stock is valued in a way that they can't really afford slip-ups.
Mm-hmm.
They have to continue to execute extremely well over the next number of years in order to justify the valuation that they have today. And to the extent that there are chinks in the armor, that does not bode well for the future prospects of the company.
Especially when you look at kind of what has been seeming to be doing so well, which is kind of their video ads. Another topic, speaking of things that aren't going real well, a lot of bad news this morning, I feel like. YHOO, we talked about this yesterday. We thought that 200 million people were hacked. It was actually 500 million accounts that were hacked. Pretty staggering number. A lot of people are outraged by this, understandably so. I will say, in defense of YHOO, we're in a country where the single most popular password for an account is password. That's in fact, the second most popular is 123456. So if you're outraged and your password is a series of numbers in sequential order, like, maybe calm down a little bit. We didn't need a hacker to get into there. But how's YHOO, like, I mean, what is the messaging? Does it even matter at this point? I mean,
well, I mean, it could be the big thing that they want to watch out for is if they have material adverse change.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be a huge lawsuit, maybe a class action lawsuit against YHOO that really throws off the valuation that Verizon was using. Now, will it get to that point? I'm not sure. Quite frankly, I was surprised that YHOO even had 500 million accounts at this time.
That number's pretty staggering.
I don't know if they're doing Wells Fargo, kind of creating other accounts.
Yeah, I think they're faking these numbers.
Yeah, so 500 million accounts hacked. So change your password, I guess.
Yeah. I think a lot of those were probably like fantasy football accounts, because YHOO's got a super underrated fantasy football service. If I may put a plug in for something I don't use, I like it. I'm a fan. Moving along, Amazon. It's over $800. It's the 4th largest market cap. Stock's more than doubled over the last 17 months. I mean, that's a pretty good run.
Yeah. I was listening to some commentary on it today, and people are still just trying to ride that wave, saying Amazon Web Services is something that just can't be competed with I guess, just having a computer that stores stuff, you can't really compete with that.
Yeah.
I mean, only Amazon can do it, I guess, so.
Apparently.
They've got that going for
No
them.
one's ever done that before. And Amazon's a tough thing for investors, especially value investors, because it's really hard to value the company in the first place. It's really even harder to defend current valuations. But at the same time, if you haven't owned Amazon over the last 17 months, you've gotten absolutely hammered.
Right.
So it's kind of befuddling and frustrating at times for us. And we do own some Amazon. I think we all agree we wish we'd owned more 17 months ago.
Indeed.
Another story. Wow, Stoil. Let's go to Stoil on oil. The story on oil. Saudi Arabia, they've come out and said that they'll cut production, but only if Iran agrees to freeze as well. So kind of the ultimate no, you hang up flirtation going on. Is this something that is actually going to come to fruition? I feel like we hear these type of talks all the times. We're going to hear from OPEC is getting together the 28th, I think, something like that. But
I mean, they're just always getting together, and then I don't know what goes on at these meetings. If they just have a really nice dinner, or like, and then like they go into these beautiful hotels in Dubai,
That's
or
what
what happens. But it doesn't seem like a lot of work actually gets done.
Not a lot. I want to get invited to that conference.
Yeah.
How do we just as individuals join OPEC?
Yeah, I think that would be a great thing to look into.
I'd be for it. Last thing I've got, I don't know if you have anything else, but I read a story today that 10 million U.S. families don't use banks.
Whew.
How is that possible? How do you pull that off?
That's mind-boggling to me. That's
You have to carry so much cash. I want to identify, maybe we could use the YHOO hacked data and find these people, because I feel like we could get our hands on a lot of cash real quick.
10 million families. So, I mean, individuals, you're probably talking maybe a tenth of the U.S. population.
It's crazy. How's that even possible? I don't get it. That's insane to me. This has been the market overview. I don't know what we're calling it. That's kind of up to intern Barrett. We'll figure that out at some point coming up. Just a second. We got a Krebs Corner with the unit, Matthew Krebsbach.
Hey everyone, welcome to Krebs Corner. My name is Matt Krebsbach. This is a segment where we take a deep dive in something that I'm looking at or someone else is looking at. Joining me today is Ben Nye. Ben, how's it going?
It's going well. Back again. I think I was
2 for
right
2.
Here, yeah.
Today we're going to look at Orbital, ATK. It's an aerospace and defense company. We've been looking at it for a couple months and been tracking it, and over the past, I think, month, some developments happened where it provided what we view as a very attractive entry point.
So I have some questions for you. So you had
go ahead.
You actually had a Seeking Alpha article on this yesterday, right?
Yeah, it got posted and published, so
Okay.
I'm basically a published author, I guess.
Yeah, but I can't access it unless I'm pro, right?
Yeah, it's kind of unfortunate.
But when would I be able to access the article?
Well, this is the first time, so I don't really know for sure.
Okay.
I don't know how the process works, but I think it's 30 days.
Okay, cool. So tell me a little bit more about Orbital, the company. What do they do? How do they come into being?
Yeah, they came into being early in 2015. They merged, Orbital Sciences merged with Alliant Tech Systems.
Okay.
And through that process, they spun off the commercial bullet business. That's kind of, it was interesting in the Vista Outdoor. So it was left with a defense company that they make bullets for like the Army and stuff like that. They make rockets, missiles, satellites, to launch satellites and all that stuff. It's a really cool company. That's kind of why
if you want to work for a defense company, like check into Orbital, because this is a cool company.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's kind of like SpaceX, but you can actually invest in it.
Right.
Invest in SpaceX.
So they merged with. So they bought Alliant, ATK.
Yeah, merged.
Alliant Tech Systems, and then. So they bought them, and then they ran into some problems a little earlier this year.
Yeah, early August, at their earnings release, they disclosed that one of Alliant's big contracts that they got from the Army is like multiple billion, I think 300 million in revenue per year. Oof. And with the Army, they had to price it really aggressively.
Right.
So at the time, the margins are really small, but then they assumed a lot of efficiencies and getting better at making the bullets and everything like that, material costs and everything, but it didn't plan out the way that old management team expected it to. So they kind of basically wrote down the contract saying it's operating at a loss, which is, it's a pretty big deal, but they already priced it that low, so I don't think the stock got hammered more than it should have, it was like over-reflecting.
So what happened to the
price of
stock
contract.
when that happened? So
It dropped like 20%, 25%, wasn't it? It was a big day.
So you looked into the conference call,
Mhm.
and what gives you the confidence that, you know, that's kind of a one-time issue? Like, what are we going to see continued contract write-downs, or
No, I think with accounting issues like that, you see that it's kind of normal.
Mhm.
You know, it's not uncommon. It should be, but it's
Right.
really not an accounting issue like that. But like I was talking about before, the old management team's not really there.
Mhm.
And so the CEO and CFO, the two people that I think everyone agree that have the biggest impact on a contract like
Right.
that, are from Orbital, that didn't have anything to do with that contract signed in 2012. And the
Okay.
combined companies in early 2015. So that's a pretty, you know, it actually had nothing to do
So the
with
bad actors are out,
if there was a bad actor.
Right.
Yeah.
and then Orbital's management is in. And has Orbital's management been there for a long time, or are they kind of new to the scene?
The CEO co-founded the company in like the 80s.
Or okay.
And I think the CFO has been there since early 2000.
Wow. So if you're a co-founder,
Very experienced.
like this is their baby.
Yeah.
So they don't want to have these big missteps.
Yeah.
Have they looked into other contracts that ATK did?
At least in the conference call, they said they went through at least all the biggest ones at the time. I think over like $500 million worth.
Okay.
Or maybe it was 100 million. I think they did both. And then anything lower than that, they're in the process of going through.
Okay.
So it doesn't seem like there should be any more cockroaches there.
Yeah. So I know you're kind of a value guy.
Yeah, I like to think so.
Yeah. So why does this stock appeal to you? I mean, is it just really cheap, or is it?
I think it's cheap on, you can finish what you're saying. I mean,
Oh, is it just this contract issue that you think the market is overpriced in, or is it just kind of a combination of the two?
I think it's a combination of the two. I thought it was cheap before this, and then I think this offers like a clear, attractive entry point, especially when the eventual filing comes out, and so let's just assume it's good, which I am assuming it's going to be fine. I think you'll get a bump there, and just before that, and now especially just on multiple valuation methods, it's cheap. I mean, if you look at comparable multiples, EV to EBITDA, PE, on margins, everything, they stack up great.
So
clearly great.
So where's the stock trading now, and where do you think it can get to?
I think yesterday it closed at around 74, and I think most of my evaluations give it over 90. I think a fair value to me is like 92 to 95.
Okay. All right, so
So that's a pretty big
so
upside.
you're talking like 30% return,
Yeah.
25% return.
I think so.
It's
In
good.
time.
That's good. That's good money. And so the catalyst coming up. So what should investors be looking for in the next few months that could really get this stock moving higher?
I think definitely first and foremost, or most close to this date, is the 10K or 10Q filing.
Okay.
I think you could get a bump there. I'm hoping you get one.
And that should happen pretty soon.
It should happen any day.
Okay.
I mean, I think it was the CFO in the conference call said they expect 45 days, and it's been right around 45 days, like today
Okay.
almost. Like you're right around that wheelhouse. And I think it to like be like within compliance and everything, they have 90 days. So,
Okay.
I mean,
So it could take another month.
yeah,
But,
yeah.
I mean,
That's really short. In investing perspective, that's a really short time period.
Right. I mean, if you get a 10% bump just from that.
Mhm.
So what do you think the stock's forward earnings potential is now that we've had these issues with the contract and going forward?
I think earnings potential. I think for 2017, I think I'm expecting around $6, a little over $6.
Okay. And this is a $74 stock.
Yeah,
So you're buying it at a little over 12 times earnings.
and I think it's that $6 multiple reflects that right down the contract and a softness in the satellite market. I don't want to get too deep into it, but like they launch satellites and they say the market's like on like a down cycle, so they only are launching very few, and that they expected to rebound in 2018. So that 2017 number even like is kind of depressed from that perspective as well.
Interesting. And then you ultimately think this merger with Alliant will bear some fruit?
Hopefully, yeah. I'm expecting it to.
Well, let's keep an eye on it.
Yeah.
And check out the Seeking Alpha article. There's a lot of good stuff in there, and do your own research, of course, but
Definitely do your own research. Don't take my word for it.
But we like Orbital, and we bought it in a number of our accounts.
Yeah, so thanks everyone. That was Cubs Corner.
Welcome to the political party with Pistol, Team Pistol. I'm Andrew Hall, Sam Frost. What up?
What's up, dude?
Like that tie?
You like it? I like your tie. That's a good touch.
Yeah. We've got people coming in to interview, so we're going to try to weird them out. I don't know if you guys saw Matt Krebsbach earlier dressed like a total freak show.
Yeah.
So, political party, we're going to have fun on political topics. We had a lot of names for what this segment would be called, but at the end of the day, we're just going to have fun with it. What we got today?
So today, Hillary Clinton came out yesterday and proposed a 65% estate tax.
65%. I'm going to use the board for this. That's a lot, y'all. If I don't know if you're a pizza person, most pizzas come with like 8 slices. So that's like that much of the pizza, give or take some scalability.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's
Yeah.
almost a whole pizza.
That's so much pizza.
That's a lot of pizza. So just a couple facts, just straight from what she said. Apparently she says it's going to generate $260 billion in revenue over the next decade.
Wait, how many people is she going to kill to make sure that happens, though?
Yeah, that's also a good question. She didn't touch on that. We should reach out. But yeah, so then she just revised her whole tax plan, really. She initially had a 45% top rate, and she's adopted something that Bernie Sanders proposed, and she's added 3 more levels to the top tax rate. And so it's $10 million, $10 million, 50% tax rate, $50 million, 55% tax rate, $500 million up for a single person, or $1 billion up for a married couple. 65% tax rate.
Man, I've never been more glad to not make $1 billion a year.
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely. I mean,
staggering.
I would still take $1 billion a year. That's still like pretty good money you're keeping. But
Debatable.
Yeah.
Like, you start to get diminishing returns at that point, though. That's my theory.
well, and so you bring up a good point. And so something I've always struggled with these high tax rates is that there's an opportunity cost with working. And so you have 2 sources of time. You have leisure time and you have work time.
Leisure has been nice.
At leisure, as the northwestern corner guy would say. I couldn't really remember if he's from Washington or Oregon, so I just had to go with
Oregon.
yeah. Anyway, so you have 2 times. You have work time and you have leisure time. And if you're getting paid more, then you're willing to work because you're making more money. But if you're getting paid less, then the opportunity cost of working versus taking leisure time is less.
That's why you should do something you enjoy. That way you never work a day in your life.
Correct. But so anyway, so implementing this huge tax rate on people that means that they're making less, which increases them to take leisure time because the opportunity cost becomes smaller by taking more leisure time. And so Hillary was talking about how this is going to, or a spokesperson for Hillary said this is illustrating her commitment to growing the economy. But the less people are inclined to work because they're taking home less money means the more they're going to be inclined to take leisure time. And so it kind of works against itself in terms of spurring the economy in that sense, in terms of encouraging people to work or not. So not 100% sure how that would play out.
So did I just hear you say that a Democrat might not be encouraging people to work?
Yeah.
Whoa.
I think that's what came out. I didn't say it. You heard it from Andrew.
I heard you say it. You heard it from Sam.
Yeah, and so it's nuts because, Hillary's talked a whole lot about how trickle-down economics doesn't work. I haven't personally dug in to figure out why she says that and if it's true or not, so at this point I have to take her word. But something else is, the last time we had trickle-down economics was when Reagan was in office, right? The thing to keep in mind was at that time, I think the estate tax was at 65% then also, when he stepped in 1981. And so boosting, and the economy did really well under Reagan, which is so boosting the tax rates back up to pre-Reagan, where he brought them back down and our economy flourished, seems like the wrong move to
Like you're
do.
creating a problem for somebody
Yeah,
to
so
come
it's
back in
it's
and fix.
basically setting it up for somebody else to come in and do what Reagan did and just drop the rates and do the economy.
Kanye West.
Yeah,
He's running 2020.
2020.
So she's setting Kanye West up
That's what's happening.
for great success. Kanye West, the next Reagan. You
Yeah.
heard it here on Political Party. What else we got? You ready for the debate Monday?
Yeah, debate's gonna be good. I'm interested to see how that plays out.
It's going to be real good.
We've talked a lot about it at the office.
Yeah.
There is no telling what is said at this debate.
I'll tell you what's going to be said.
Let's hear it.
Donald Trump's going to say the B word.
The B word.
Yeah.
You think he'll
Yeah.
actually come out and say it?
Yeah, Barack Obama, he's going to bring it up and guaranteed.
So do you think
No
he
question.
will say it or he'll reference?
I think he'll
It?
say it.
You think he'll actually say
Yeah,
the
he's
word?
going to say Barack.
Barack.
He's going to say it. It's going to be nuts. We're going to cover that thoroughly Monday night. I think we're going to make everyone here tweet from the same Twitter account so that we can't even get the tweets out and our tens of followers can't even digest them in time. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
Follow us on Twitter.
Follow us on Twitter.
Tusk Media LLC. Limited liability, baby. That's all we got for Political Party. This was fun. Whatever's next is next. Hey everybody, welcome to football. I'm Andrew Hall, Matt Kresbach, the unit. You guys know what we do every week. We pick games against the spread. It gets really crowded up here, so what we've decided to do is take the people that have the most opposite picks. And this week it's you and I early on. We have a lot of picks that are the same later on, but let's just jump right in. Michigan State versus your Wisconsin Badgers. I got Michigan State -5.5, mainly just to antagonize you.
What those guys? I won't ask for anything else. but
Ben's
this
got
one.
Wisconsin, Sam's got Michigan State, even split.
Okay.
You've got Wisconsin plus the 5.5 points. Sell me on the Badgers.
Well, I just
Next game.
I guess overarching theme. I think that's gonna be a really low scoring game. I think both teams have better defenses than offenses, pretty handily.
Mhm.
But I think
But the best defense is a good offense.
yeah, and the Badgers are like the one team on that list I can name like more than 3 players on. So they announced that Alex Hornberg's starting over Bart Houston. I don't think Bart Houston's that good.
Bart. Never trust a Bart.
You don't like that name?
Nah.
You heard it here first. Hot take.
Never-
Andrew
never-
doesn't like the name Bart.
Never trust a Bart. I want to bet more on the game now.
Yeah, so I mean, I just think it's gonna be really low scoring, and I'll take that chance at 5.5. I don't think they'll win, but I think it'll be close.
So the next game we both agreed on, Kent State plus 44 against Alabama. Only Ben took Alabama. Kent isn't a state.
I just think your thing about Saban on there, he's not
Yeah.
gonna embarrass him.
Saban's got a soul. That's a hot take. Nick Saban has a soul. Georgia Bulldogs versus the Ole Miss Rebels. I took Ole Miss as a Georgia fan. You took Georgia
I'm a
as
dog fan now, so
as a newly converted dog fan for the week. Man, I don't feel good about this one at all.
it was 7.5, right?
Yeah, 7.5. There's no way Georgia covers 7.5. They're gonna lose by at least 8.
I'm just really favorable to like the 7.5, 10.5, 14.5. I just
Anything can happen.
I just like those chances.
Okay. We both have Florida plus 6.5 against Tennessee. The whole office has
I
that.
have no idea why. I picked
I
them.
don't understand why Tennessee is favored. They've lost 11 or 12 straight to Florida. They lost to them last year. Florida's, I think, a better team. People still think Tennessee's good.
I'm not as confident as you are.
But
I picked it,
but we
though.
picked it. Mississippi State versus the powerhouse UMass Minutemen. I got Mississippi State minus the 22. I think they're going to rebound from that really tough loss to South Alabama to open the year. I like it.
I don't know much of a take on that one.
Vandy, Western Kentucky. Western Kentucky's favored by 7.5. You got Western Kentucky. I got Vandy.
I mean, really, Vandy for the past like 2 or 3 weeks, I've bet on them. I've picked them, and they've
But,
lost like every time. Like last weekend against Georgia Tech, they got destroyed.
that was
I
always
picked
gonna happen.
Vanderbilt.
Yeah. Auburn and LSU. Auburn's a 3-point favorite. You and I are on the same page of this. Ben picked Auburn, as did Scotty and the intern lock of the week.
Wow.
Interesting because Scotty's been doing pretty well betting against Auburn. Now all of a sudden he's taking Auburn.
Huh. That game's at Auburn, correct?
Yeah, maybe a little insider info there that we don't know about.
Mm.
Did you see Leonard Fournette like shove that guy to the
That
core
spike.
of the earth
Yeah.
last week? That was
Yeah.
insane.
He's a beast.
Yeah, that's literally the only reason I took LSU was just that one play, not even Leonard Fournette. I just want to see him. Auburn's got a guy named Trey Matthews, Trigga Trey, that's what they call him. He played at Georgia. He's the worst tackler I've ever seen in football. He started as a freshman at Georgia. He's the miracle play at Auburn. He played a real crucial role in that, and then got kicked out of school at Georgia and transferred to Auburn. He's the worst tackle in the world. He's the one that Leonard Fournette just like punished time and time again.
Were you happy about that then?
Yeah, it's so much fun to watch. And then last week, I forget who Auburn was even playing, but a guy did a spin move, and I mean, not to call out a 21-year-old kid, but Trey Matthews just sat down. So he's a safety. So I'm really looking forward to some of that. I mean, I think it's going to get ugly. South Carolina, Kentucky. I got South Carolina plus 1.5. So do you. I mean, these are two really bad
it's
teams.
like a dumpster of the SEC.
It's going to be bad. I'd rather watch paint dry. Texas A&M minus 6.5 against Arkansas. We're on the same page there. We're also on the same page, Washington minus 11 against Arizona. Of note, Ben Nye, resident Washington Husky, not feeling the pack.
I don't think Arizona's that good. I looked at their early season schedule, like results, and they didn't seem that
I mean, the
good.
Pac-12 is a garbage conference.
Yeah,
And we can
always
say that
has been.
since Ben's not up here. So, I mean, it's
And
just
Washington. I will say Washington seems pretty untested at this point.
they're untested, but the one thing I do like about Washington early in a year is they're untested 3 games in, but they've done exactly what they should have done in every one of those games, which is something you can't say about. I mean, really, there's very few
Wisconsin.
teams you can say that about. Georgia, I mean, you just can't. Like Georgia's 3-0, but it's like, yeah, they look pretty awful in every game. So that's not the case for Washington. So those are the picks. We'll update those picks. Current standings: Ben Nye in the lead. You and Sam are tied. I'm in last. Interns, they've only gotten 2 games right all year. So tough time for the interns. That's all we got for football. Next thing's next. Hey everybody, welcome to the first ever edition of Office Power Rankings. What we're going to do here is we're going to talk about everybody in the office. Most of the people are right here. Those who aren't are really going to get shamed because they're also probably not going to watch the video. But it's really hard to rank things in real time among 3 people, so we're actually just going to do buy, sell, hold. You're listening or watching the investing podcast. You understand that buy, sell, hold. If we're buying something, we like it. If we're selling it, we don't really like it. If we're holding it, we're kind of undecided. So we're just going to run through the employees and weigh in on everybody. You guys ready?
Oh yeah,
Got
let's do this.
Scotty with me here, Barrett the intern.
I think it's fair that we have the interns because I think we randomly interact with everyone.
Yeah.
Like we just kind of run errands for everyone and do stuff for everyone. So we have a pretty good grasp on what we're seeing here.
I feel like you get what's going on. I'm going to start in the middle of this list so that we don't get perceived as biased.
Yeah, that's fair.
So right in the middle, we've got John Holt. John's our Chief Compliance Officer. Does a good job.
John's the man.
I got very little to say about John. I'm buying him, so arrow up.
I like that.
Yeah, that's a good call. Very good call.
Do we want to go up or down?
Let's go up.
Let's
Let's
go
go
up.
straight to Krebs Corner.
Straight to Krebs. Couple beefs with Krebs.
Yeah.
He asked who was hosting Krebs Corner, which is his own segment.
That's not a good look.
We told him, and then he asked, well, what if Ben is talking about something? And we said, well, it wouldn't be Krebs Corner. So not a great look there. I don't know that I would sell stock in Krebs just for that, but do you guys have any other thoughts?
I mean, he dresses like a freak. So.
Yeah, that's pretty spot on.
It would
But
be
there's
thin
a
hole.
certain novelty to the way that he like shows up to work in a polo shirt. I
Yeah.
kind of appreciate that.
Just being humble.
I
Humble
put him-
Krebs.
I put him on a really shallow hold.
Shallow.
That's fair.
Yeah.
But he's on watch.
He's on watch.
I'll take it.
Krebs is on watch. Matt, this is Matt Burton. I'm trying to think of really great things that Matt did this week.
Well, I'm gonna say on the very, very small chance that he watches this video, I'm buying.
He let y'all go to the lake and play on jet skis.
I was
right?
about
Yeah,
to
that's
say,
the
I-
truth.
Bones. This is a hard buy.
He took Ben to Bones for lunch.
Mhm.
Took me to Marriott Pizza, which I only get a chance to do like 4 or 5 times a week, so that was real great of him.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think what else. Yeah, we'll put him as a solid
Yeah,
buy.
solid buy.
I like my job. We'll make him a buy.
Yeah.
Dean, our head of the accounting
You
department.
know.
He's
Can't beat Dean. He's just a classic,
He's so
incredible
He's
person.
just
big fan of Dean.
Yeah.
I got nothing on Dean. I mean, Dean's.
Yeah, just solid guy all around.
You know, I was thinking about John, and the other day he came in. Like a lot of times we work out in the mornings.
Every morning.
Not all together, but like we'll work out. And John came in and he did that thing where he just like took a little bit too long to actually take a shower.
Yeah.
And then like, I noticed this, I don't know if y'all noticed, but he like walked around without his shoes on until like almost lunchtime. So
He did do that for a long time yesterday.
I'm kind of like, I guess he's still a buy, but
let's just make that arrow a little bit shorter there.
There we go.
There we
you
go.
Shallow buy.
Shallow buy.
Shallow buy for John.
That's a good call. Good call.
Sylvia, fresh off an appearance at Dragon Con. Total sweetheart. Literally have not
Complete
seen her
sweetheart.
this week. I assume she's been working. Haven't seen her. But if my last interaction with you was a week ago and you work here, like, in my opinion, that's a buy.
Yeah, we love Sylvia. She sends me the least amount of emails, so I'm all about that.
Strong buy.
Yeah.
All right, so now we're going to work back down. Ben.
Ben Nye, the investing guy.
So here's the thing about Ben. He does a lot of great stuff. Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Ben would tell you he does a lot of great stuff here. One thing he didn't do, and this was even his idea, was he was like, hey, my cousin made this little like Fortune 40 under 40 list. Can I give her a shout out on the podcast? And we're like, yeah, sure, do it. Ben's cousin, not my cousin, not your cousin, not your cousin. Ben didn't give her a shout out. So now, not my cousin, not your cousin, not your cousin. We have to give her the shout out. So Kim Posnett, 40 under 40 list. We're having to do that for him, so I feel like it's kind of like with everything with Ben. It's like I have to do his job and mine, so I'm selling stock in Ben.
Yeah. And I say let's buy some in his cousin too, because seems like she's the real deal.
Pair trade.
Pair trade right there. Buying Kim.
I'm happy with that.
Good job.
Yeah, real happy with that.
Um,
Hey, real quick, just before we move on to Sam, I was just starting to think. So, my desk is really close to John's office, and like I'm not trying to like nitpick here, but I think he's maybe like coming down with a cold, and he's just constantly like sniffing. Like for the past like 2 days, I'm at my desk and I'm like trying to work, and it's really hard to work with John. And John's like a big guy, so when he sniffs, he's got like the.
it's like a fire hydrant sniffing.
That's exactly right. It's spot on. Like just like it's like having an office, like kind of like next to like King Kong or something. So maybe let's like bump him down to just like
It's about a little bit.
He's like a penny undervalued right now.
Yeah. I'm happy with that. Thanks.
Sam, bow tie, power move this morning, right out of the gate. Lots of respect for the bow tie. Especially, we got people coming in to interview today. Sam's a guy that you look at him and you say, this is like a classy operation. We got a bow tie, we got a bolo tie, polo shirt. But Sam, I feel like almost negating Krebsbach. Like if we could have Krebsbach go to the bathroom when these people get here and when they leave,
even out.
They'd be like, this is a really respectable office. So I'm buying Sam for that.
I like
You guys
that.
down
Yeah,
for
yeah, good call.
Yeah, bye.
Definitely by Sam.
Good impression this morning with the bow tie for sure.
Scotty, he's right here, so we'll just talk over him.
All right.
I can leave. Do you guys want me
Wait,
to leave?
actually-
Okay.
I was thinking about John. So John's got vacation coming up, right? He doesn't travel a lot, but he's going out to Wyoming. And the other day he was like, "Hey man, remember, got my trip coming up." It was kind of like, "Oh, cool brag, dude!
Oh,
I get
wow.
it. You get time off, like real awesome. Thanks for the invite."
Not even a humble
And,
brag either.
yeah, just kind of like, hey, in case anybody's wondering, I'm going horseback riding. So I don't know. It's just there's not a lot of place for that in the office. I feel like. So I'm
You know what?
Neutral?
Yeah, neutral.
Hold.
No, I don't want to buy any more, John.
So Scotty didn't wreck a jet ski.
I didn't.
Very-
Not a single hitch in
Very-
getting the jet skis out of the lake.
Very expected for him to wreck a jet ski.
Ordered some really hot peppers, and if he eats one today, which I think he will,
Carolina Reapers.
He's been
live
talking it up.
on Twitter, I think he's gonna eat one. I think he will, so I'm gonna put him as a buy. If he doesn't eat the pepper today, then I'm gonna sell everything. Thoughts?
That's fair.
You live with the guy. I mean, is there
I do
something I
live
need
with
to know?
him. No, I mean he's just yeah. I'd say he's a buy, depending on
Hey.
the pepper eating.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
I really appreciate it.
Barrett.
Let's talk Barrett.
Well, hold on. Let's talk John again
Oh,
real
yeah.
quick.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
What's up?
I got into the kitchen yesterday, and I think I saw him nibbling on some dog food.
Again.
Oh, I thought we addressed
For
that.
those who don't know, like sometimes Matt brings his dogs in, and they have the same haircut as John. kind of curly.
Yeah.
But he was eating the food again.
I think he was eating the bag of dog food again. So
It'd be one thing if he like picked it up off the floor first, but he just goes for
he
it.
just eats it. So
Little cell.
Little cell, yeah.
I mean, I will say, to his credit, he didn't order 2 lunches.
It's
That's a good
fair.
point.
So we'll give him that. Barrett. I think Barrett's doing a pretty good job. I hesitate to give any intern much
That
credit.
was the first nice thing.
Yeah.
you said.
But he did something this week. Ben, do you remember? He did something. I was like, that's the first useful thing Barrett's done. I can't remember what it was. He cleared the memory for the camera today, so that we actually have time for this. It's only shut off once so far during the podcast, which is like a huge monumentous occasion for Barrett.
Yeah.
Signs
Good
of
work,
progress.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Signs of progress there. And I'll cover my ears. I got one more thing for John before we come back to me. He listens to music in his headphones.
Mm.
And it's always really weird, like cinematic themes.
Yeah.
Just sprawling themes. And I think sometimes he kind of views the world that way, like he's living in a movie, and that kind of gives him this like movie star mentality.
You know, I've actually walked in on him just like peering out the window like he's in a music video, just sad, like single tear rolling down his cheek. And I thought it was kind of weird. He had the music playing really loud.
And the thing about the single tear is like it takes a while to figure out that single tear. So it's kind of like, wait, have you even been working, or have you just been like
Figuring out the
trying
single
like
tear.
6 tears, then getting them like 4, 2, 2,
Strong cell.
and finally getting one.
Strong cell.
Selling John.
John's a bad person.
I mean, we're about to get like a circle with an X where it's like we just fire him.
Yeah,
We're not there yet.
absolutely.
I mean, I'll let you guys talk amongst yourselves, but
Bolo tie. I mean, strong case for a
Yeah.
buy right up front.
Can't beat the bolo tie. It's
Bolo ties.
It's a
Is that
bold
all I
move. New people coming in to interview, they come in and they're like, "Oh snap! This guy's got a bolo tie on."
he's done some wrangling.
Yeah, he's done some wrangling. He's confident. He's put together. Look at this guy. I mean,
He looks good.
yeah, I say,
This looks like a guy who wears socks.
yeah, absolutely. I say we buy Andrew.
I'll put in a case for a buy here.
Very good. So this was the office power rank. We're buying Sylvia, Dean, Matt, Sam, Scotty, Barrett, Andrew. We're selling hard
Don't forget
on
Kim.
John. Oh yeah, we're also buying a lot of
Go
overweighting.
Kim.
We're overweighting Kim. We're selling Ben, selling John real hard.
Yeah.
Short
And
term.
Krebs just kind of chilling in the middle. So, I mean, if I had to single anybody out that I'm looking forward to next week, it would have to be Krebsbach, just because I want to see some volatility.
Right.
Like, let's see what happens here.
Do better, Krebs.
That's about all we got on that. You got a quote of the day for us?
I do. And the quote of the day today, we're going to keep it real simple with a quote that everybody around here is very familiar with. It's Big Boss Matt Burton is a big fan of this quote. It's, "Pigs get fat, hogs get slaughtered." It's a classic, you know, it plays into the whole business model of, hey, like, take what's yours. Be a little greedy, you know, come out on top, but don't get too greedy. Because you get too fat. You start eating too much of that hog feed.
Dog
And
food.
dog food,
Or
John.
dog food,
And you get slaughtered.
There we go.
That's what happens.
yeah.
Pigs get fat, hogs get slaughtered. This is the Investing Podcast Marathon episode. Y'all have a great weekend. Talk to you Monday.
Tusk Media is a subsidiary of Narwhal Capital Management. Ratings and reviews of Tusk Media content are not to be construed as endorsements of opinions, analysis, or services offered by Tusk or its parent company. The opinions and predictions shared here are our professional beliefs at the time of publication. We are not under duress from any of the corporate entities mentioned. This is not a solicitation to take any particular action. Although we are investment advisors, this information should not be considered investment, legal, or tax advice. We strive to be as impartial, insightful, and accurate as possible. We base our opinions, analysis, and calculations on information we believe to be reliable, but we cannot guarantee its accuracy. We can, however, guarantee that our opinions will sometimes be flat out wrong due to a variety of factors. Employees and clients of Narwhal Capital Management may or may not hold positions in the securities detailed and may or may not hold these positions in the future. A full list of all securities purchased, sold, or held during the 12 months preceding the date of this publication can be provided upon request. Unless otherwise noted, all data accessed via MarketWatch or the Bloomberg terminal. Past performance does not guarantee future results. A copy of Narwhal's Form ADV is available at the SEC's website, www.advisorinfo.sec.gov, or from Narwhal upon written request.